It's been a few months since I last built the Strongest Hashira Lineup in Demon Slayer history. You guys loved it, but you also brought in some interesting suggestions that made me think there's still ways to improve the Strongest Hashira Lineup. So I'm doing it again, but for real this time. I'll be refining the lineup to its absolute maximum potential. By the time we're done with the lineup, you'll have a squad who can hold their own against other anime villain groups from One Piece or JJK. And not only am I truly going to make the most unbeatable squad this time, I'm also going to be assessing their personalities, powers, and strengths to base them on the 12 Olympians from Greek Mythology. So, there's going to be 12 members in total. It's going to be fire. Don't believe me? Well, hear me out. Starting with the first one, we have, of course, Yoriichi the Sun Breather. He'll be the leader of the group, much like Zeus from the 12 Olympians. But here's where it gets better. He'll be sharing this position with the Kamado siblings. Guys, I hear ya. I'm sure everyone would agree that this list is going to be incomplete without our boy Tanjiro.
Of course!
Well, there's a way to include him that makes sense. As the leader of the squad, Yoriichi is not going to be active all the time. He'd be traveling the world and straight up chilling while the Kamado siblings take over as his proxy. Tanjiro would obviously be a sun-breathing user. However, Nezuko would be using moon-breathing.
Interesting.
She'll be the moon to her brother's sun, and together, they'll complement each other's breathing styles. Separately, they're nowhere as strong as Yoriichi, but together, their individual strength multiplies, and they become strong enough to act as Yoriichi's proxy. Though, because they are a proxy, their actual spot is going to be number 2. And if we parallel them to the 12 Olympians, they're going to be the queen of the Hashira. Moving on, we're going to cover the spots from number 3 to number 12, but let me clarify that they aren't exactly ranked in terms of strength. Doesn't matter if you're number 3 or number 12, you'll have the same level of authority in the group.
Sometimes my genius it's almost frightening.
At number 3, we got a water-breathing user as Poseidon, the god of the sea. And no, it's not Giyu Tomioka, it's Sabito. We know that he was actually stronger than Giyu, and protected him in the final selection. He most definitely would have surpassed Giyu if he didn't die. This version of Sabito would be in his prime, and he'll also have all 3 Demon Slayer power-ups. He'll be the strongest water-breathing user in history, so strong that other Demon Slayers would literally start calling him the god of the sea. There's levels to this, guys. Number 4 is going to be our girl Kanao. Based on Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, Kanao will take the 4th spot as a flower-breathing user. However, this version of Kanao will also be in her prime when she still has the sight of both her eyes. She'll have the Demon Slayer mark, Red Nichiren, and See-Through World. In terms of pure power scaling, this Kanao would be stronger than Shinobu's older sister Kanai. Number 5 is about the goddess of wisdom, and this goes to Gyome, the stone-breathing user. Gyome is the wisest of all Hashira, and just like how stones have historically symbolized wisdom, Gyome symbolizes it by being a stone-breathing user. He'll have all 3 Demon Slayer power-ups just like he did in the manga, and even if he's not any stronger than he was during the Infinity Castle, he still deserves this spot as the deity of wisdom in this Hashira squad.
Oh yeah!
Number 6 is about the god of the sun, and this may sound complicated because Yoriichi already has the number 1 spot, but let me tell you that there's another Hashira who can take this place. Flames represent Yang in Chinese literature. Yang also represents the sun, and considering how many anime series have the yin and yang in their lore, we can reasonably give this spot to a flame-breathing user. Though which flame-breathing user? I'd say we should give this to Kyojoro's father, Shinjiro, who is actually the strongest Hashira of the century. But in this version, he'll awaken the mark, the Red Nichiren, as well as the transparent world. He'll do it thanks to the positive force of the yang he embodies. Unlike the original story, he won't have drinking issues and would be more like his son but with greater strength.
No! Wait!
Moving on to number 7, we've got Inosuke as Artemis, the deity that embodies wilderness. Inosuke's beast breathing is perfect for this, but if we also give him the 3 Demon Slayer power-ups, he'll become a silent beast that embodies Mother Nature's spirit but is also ruthless in practice. Now number 8 is Ares, the god of war, and I believe only one guy deserves this spot. We should definitely give this to Sanemi. As the wind-breathing user, he personifies the relentless nature of the wind. Sanemi didn't get Transparent World in the manga, but if he internalizes his aggressiveness, he can calm down and enter it where he gains the ability to see through everything. Next up, at number 9, we got the god of the forge, which is related to using fire to make weapons, but we're actually giving this spot to Zenitsu. Out of all the Hashira in the strongest lineup ever, Zenitsu will be the only one that feels out of place. But make no mistake, he'll always come in clutch.
That's why he's the
The thing is that Zenitsu still won't be able to use any thunder-breathing forms other than the first and the seventh one. However, he'll keep a stack of light katana on him at all times to use the first and the seventh form in different ways, depending on the length, the girth, and the shape of the katana. Whenever he falls asleep and the Daog awakens, his transparent world would awaken too. And of course, he's also gonna have the Demon Slayer mark and the red Nichiren blade. Moving on to number 10, we got the Goddess of Love, who is, come on, say it together with me, Mitsuri Kanroji.
Yeah, boy.
This one is fairly self-explanatory. Mitsuri is a love-breathing user, and although she didn't awaken Transparent World or Red Nichiren, her love-breathing is still pretty darn strong and unpredictable. If she gets the other two power-ups, she'll become every male villain's best and worst nightmare. Number 11 is about Hermes, a messenger whose domain involves thievery and travel. So we're gonna give this one to a ninja. Yeah guys, every squad is incomplete without a ninja, and I know I definitely did him dirty in my last video by not including him. So yes, Tengen Uzui takes this spot as the ninja who uses sound breathing. He can handle infiltration missions no problem, and just try to imagine how strong a sound breathing user can get if he also awakens the transparent world. Tengen will become Minato from Naruto. Now finally, at number 12, we've got Obanai, the serpent-breathing user. This is a bit weird, because this position belongs to Dionysus, the god of wine and festivity. But Dionysus actually has a strong connection to snakes when it comes to Greek mythology. Of course, Obanai also shares a deep connection with his snake buddy Kagoromaru, so it works out. He'll hold on to the 12th spot as the serpent-breathing user, and much like how it was in the original manga, he'll have all 3 Demon Slayer power-ups, but he'll be on his prime like Guillaume. Turning this Hashira squad into the 12 Olympians is basically just basing the Hashira on the natural forces they embody. We now have all sorts of different Hashira along with what they symbolize. Together, these guys make a group with 0 weak points. Seriously, even though the breathing styles aren't real, the power that comes from those motions is indeed very real. So if these guys come together, they can deal with any kind of antagonistic faction.
I am invincible! Invincible! You. Ow!
Of course, they'd still lose to Goku, but if they equalize stats between different anime verses, you have to admit that our strongest Hashira lineup can hold their own against most shonen groups. Ultimately, all of the Hashira we've chosen are at their prime. They've mastered their breathing styles, have Demon Slayer mark, Red Nichiren, and Transparent World. To add on to this, every single one of them has developed a breathing form that's completely unique to them. They're all monsters, and the fact that they're based on natural forces like the 12 Olympians makes them the strongest Hashira lineup in Demon Slayer history. But what do you think? If you're a true Demon Slayer fan like me, check out what I did with the lineup last time, and these best Demon Slayer matchups fans need to see.